boots in the gut. We have power, running water, food, and all the luxuries of the old world. Welcome to the Wastes, everyone. This is Grimm Grinner on about a dozen channels? About as many as we could tap into from here at the garage. The signal isn't the best, oddly enough. Yes, we made it to the garage, and Gabriel is still here. He's certainly been in better shape, but he's holding things together pretty well. Sounds like the rumors I heard about him saving and training someone were actually true, which is a bit surprising. Not that he would save someone. Gabe's got a big heart. No, mostly that he would actually raise someone and teach them how to survive. It's never really been his thing. Tends to save someone, maybe help them recover, and then sends them on their way. But from the sounds of things, this one's special. This girl, Jewel, ran into a small cluster of corporate scumbags and creeps, and they left her clinging to life. Gabriel somehow picked her up, brought her back to the garage, patched her up, and made sure she recovered. Her throat had apparently been slashed really bad, so it took a while to heal up enough that she could speak. So Gabe, of course, gave her a journal so that she could write in it and communicate until she got better. As far as surrogate fathers go, you could certainly do better, but there's a bigger list of the fact that you could do worse than Gabe. He certainly does not take any shit, but I reckon that's got more to do with his past than anything. You see, word is that Gabe may have run with some corporate mercs until things went south, and he lost some people really close to him. No one really knows the truth, since he is a man of few words and tends to keep things pretty close to the chest. I mean, I get that. Out in the wastes, you can build trust with someone, you can fight side by side with someone, but you're always going to have to keep a few things to yourself in order to stay safe out there. Anyways, Gabe helped Jewel recover and taught her how to shoot, taught her how to fight, and to hear him describe it, she was almost like a feral had been given a weapon but knew how to use it and was deadly accurate. I would almost be afraid for the guys that messed with her, but they're corporate scumbags, so they probably have it coming. At any rate, she sounds like a woman on a mission. She hasn't been back to the garage in quite a while, so hopefully this isn't the last we hear from her. In other news, we do have a better idea of our heading, in particular the search for Burb'Lac and Mama Coog. From what Gabriel was able to piece together from people who've passed by, Mama Coog was a former raider whose group turned on her when the appeal of being corporate mercs just seemed a little more profitable and a little more what they thought they needed to survive. Despite being outnumbered, the last count was 22-1. Mama Coog still was able to take out most of them. And apparently the 3 that surrendered and survived because of it were, I guess, the first few to help her start building something. Sounds like the shootout was on an old campground, so they just started fortifying it, and from the sounds of things, have a pretty hefty amount of space to build a settlement. And over time, it sounds like people and survivors have come across the camp and anyone that passes her test would be welcomed in with something of a safe haven to call their home. As far as we can tell, corporations haven't gotten out that far, but I also wouldn't be surprised to hear if a few mercs or creeps have snuck in disguised in some way. And I've just been flagged by CJ. She wants me to remember to discuss what I mean by creeps. I was using it a lot in the last broadcast and have been mentioning it so far. I'm not just talking about random creepy dudes out in the wastes when I say creeps. No, I am referring, of course, to the Corporate Regulated Eradication and Enforcement Patrol. Some people just call them enforcers or lump them in with the mercs. Honestly, I've found calling them creeps works best for me, especially since they do exactly that. They give me the creeps. The weird featureless masks they wear and the body armor over top of just an all-black suit, it's gives me the keepy-jeebies. Oh, should probably also mention, Gabe got our mapping equipment up and running, as well as set us up with a bunch of reserve fuel tanks and batteries so that we can actually keep ourselves moving out there. That way we can track our movements as we head towards settlements and outposts, and who knows, we can probably even try and ping some of you out there and help direct you towards the nearest ones. We're going to still be recording these broadcasts to put on keys whenever we hit up an outpost or settlement. I've also put together a few cap stashes, which, before I really continue, I really just want to bring up how weird currency's gotten in the wastes. I mean, I know that before everything went to hell in a corporate handbasket, that money had started to really just go all digital. There wasn't a huge amount of physical representations of money anymore. But since then, we have developed some really interesting forms of currency out here. Like everything from bottle caps, arcade and transit tokens. I've heard of places even accepting moist towelettes as currency, which, I mean, that's fair. You want to keep clean out here as best as you can, at least. But it all seems really odd, like to have something like that. It feels like something out of a video game or a comic book. Not that I'm complaining about having something that physically represents my ability to get supplies or fuel, but it's just so interesting to see the value we put on just bizarre things. For me, as much as I have an abundance of caps and definitely an abundance of tokens, I still really prefer the bartering system. It's sometimes easier to just pick up a bunch of scrap and a bunch of supplies and trade them for exactly what you need. It's a little more universal, I think. You know, when you hit an outpost that wants caps for something, it's handy to have, I guess. So, back on track. I have put together a few cap and token stashes to spread the wealth around. I may have tossed in some other small supplies like bobby pins or something. And as often as possible, we've tossed a key in with potential coordinates, potential information. We're leaving them around anytime we come to scavenge or anything. Spread the wealth around a little bit and hopefully direct some people where they need to go. We'll be taking some time gearing up here at the garage for a few days. checking out some old ruins that Gabriel has noticed are fairly empty aside from a few ferals. Might be some good finds in there. Then it's off on the road again. Outrunning the mercs that were on our tail last broadcast really took it out of us, but I'm still pretty sure they gave up after the first 100 clicks or so. We have tracked that there's a few outposts and settlements between here and Burb'Lac. Hopefully some of them are pretty safe. And I think one in particular apparently might have some information on finding Garden Town, or at least information on whether that's just a rumor or if it's might actually be out there. At any rate, I expect that info will be costly. Until next time, stay safe out in the wastes, everyone. This is Grimm Grinner, signing off. Join the CREEP today. Keep your family, the GAT, and our way of life safe from the rebels on the waste.